Hello everyone, welcome back to our geometry class. We are approaching to the end of this unit. And today we are going to talk about another thing about 3D objects, which is cross-section. When you hear this word, probably that recalls some memory from your biology class. And today we are going to explore the meaning of cross-section in terms of geometry. Before we start the lesson, let's have a quick warm-up question. What kind of shapes will we have when we cut this cake? You can cut any way you like, but only one cut. Well, this is very delicious chocolate cake, as you can see. So think about this question when you cut it, and then what kind of 2D shape you will see while you cut it. So what are the things where you cut it out, when you cut it open, what kind of shapes you are going to see. You can think about this question now, and we will come back later when we go over the questions, go over the definitions of cross-section today. Okay, so cross-section, what is cross-section? Cross-section is the shape of the surface when we cut straight through an object. And again, cross-section is talking about 2D shape. As you can see, for example, we have bread here. And if we cut through this, the shape, the surface touching through the knife, that side, excuse me, is going to be called cross-section we're talking about. So one common question, one common mistake is sometimes when we cut through, and sometimes students talking about the top part is, oh, the rest piece is still bread. This is not the cross section we are talking about. Instead, the surface, that side is touching through the knife, is the cross section we are talking about. So if you just look at the definition, probably you still have some time need to digest this concept. So now let's check. Let's quickly check some pictures. You may have some idea. Before that, let's do a quick guess and check. You have 3 pictures here. So what do you want to guess is, this is kind of, cross section. You can see is a slice here, but all seems like a, circle round shape here. Then what is the original object can you see? So the first one, some student probably figure out this is a carrot. This is a tomato, right? So probably you do some kind of, experiment in biology class. You need to get cross section of certain object. This is why I said, at the beginning, you probably heard this word before. And this one, very obvious, is actually pineapple. So everything here, when you cut through this, fruit, and sometimes you see round shapes, sometimes you see different kind of shapes, but that one, the side touching knife is cross section. So to help you better understand this, let's have another practice. As you can see here, this one is a triangular prism, right? We have a triangle here, we have triangle in the back. We know this is triangle prism. So as you can see on this picture, we have a knife. Consider this glass is like a knife. Cut through this triangle prism. Then what kind of shape is a cross section for this situation? So you can think about this. Again, sometimes, focus on the side touching through the knives. Focus on this part touching through the knife. So some students probably figure out that is actually a triangle, right? So that's why the cross section for this case is triangle. So some students might wonder, is that possible we're going to have a different kind of shape? Yes, it is possible. Depends on how you cut it. So for example, if we check a different question here, William is drawing a picture of a cross section of the right circular cone. So is a cone here. Which drawing cannot be a cross section of a cone? So some questions here. So some students might wonder which one cannot be. The keyword is not be, right? So as you can see, as I mentioned, we can have all different kind of cross section of the same object, depends on how you cut it. So if you cut through, for example, if I just cut through like from very vertical way to this, I'm going to get a triangle. And if I just cut through like on the side, I might have this shape. And if I cut, very slanted way like this, I might have oval. However, no matter how hard you cut, you will never get a square like that. So that's why which one cannot be only square I cannot get from this cone, right? So this is, what happened when you discover the cross section. Later in the second video, I want to show you some object by cutting through things so you have better understanding on that. And also now let's go back to the very beginning question as we mentioned before. Remember, so if you check this shape, it's actually look like what? It look like a cylinder, right? So it look like a cylinder. So if I think about this, if I cut through like this way, what kind of shape you are going to look at? Some students probably already figure out, oh, the cross section for this is going to be a rectangle. One thing I want to remind you, once you cut through, some student might say, oh, cross section is half a circle. No, the cross section is a side you touch the knife. So the whole surface touching the knife will be the cross section. So some student might say, hey, what if I just, of course nobody cut, cake like that, but what if I cut the cake like this? I just, cut through in the middle and you will see a circle as a cross section. So really you can have multiple ways to get a cross section, depends on how you cut it. Okay, everyone, I hope this video is helpful. Later, I'm going to show you different objects of how you cut through for the different ways you will have different cross section. Please check them out so that will help you visual this process. Thank you so much for watching this video and study this topic with me. See you soon, everyone. Take care.